Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, a little bit wet outside, and the weather's not wonderful, but that's all right. We're inside, it's dry in here. Didn't get too wet getting in here, so that's right. So what are we going to do today? Probably not a lot. I had to do another job just before. What we will do is just going to walk through. I've printed out the dimensions required for the sub box, and it's looking like, based on the size of the box, if I want it to be sealed, I will probably have to make it quite a little bit smaller, a fair amount smaller actually, because it's quite big at the moment. So it could mean that I just port the box, but we'll keep on having a look at that. I'll certainly have to, looking at the way the box is at the moment. Here it's quite long in sort of here, and I was going to put a piece out there because I need to support the top as it goes in, but I also then probably need to put a straight bit, so it's possible I might seal it that way, and it's just a matter of I just got to decide where to port, possibly out the front there somewhere. But I need to have a think about that as well, because it could be that depending on the overall size, if I slant it there and I could port it out there. Poor passenger. But anyway, we'll see what happens there. The other thing I thought about, to be honest, was porting it out through here, and then the air movement would actually run across the amplifiers. Might help cool them, you never know. While we're here, the other thing is the speaker cable's turned up. So black on that side. Would you call that blue, purple? We'll call it blue on that side. So that's for the fronts, it's not for the rears. We've got some thicker stuff for the rears, for the sub, should I say. Sorry, that's for the, actually yeah, sorry, that's got to run into the speakers there as well. Hopefully I've got enough. Anyway, we'll find out, I guess, at some point. I do have some more cable somewhere if I need to run to the rears, but we'll just see where we go, and we'll just see how we go. Okay. Right. So speaker cable. Going to work out the size of the box. Might try and at least put a couple of extra pieces in here. We've got to slowly build up what's in here. I've got to work out again how I'm going to put the lids and the compartments in here, what's going to go inside them. I've ordered some egg crate foam. Yes, there you go. And we'll be lining the inside of the sub box with that. We'll probably put some inside the rear spaces here, the rear speakers are. Obviously, got to be a little bit careful in the front because you've got a window that goes up and down, so you've got to be careful what you do there. A lot more chance of water being in there as well, so foam in there is probably not a good idea. I did have the lizard skin, which is a sound deadening paint, which I sprayed on the bottom. I've still got quite a lot of that. It was quite messy, let's put it that way, when I did it the first time. So while I could put it in here, it will certainly mean a lot of masking off, a lot of plastic and everything, because it goes everywhere. So we'll have a think about that. There's some sound deadening in there at the moment, and maybe it is going to be easier just to buy some of that matting and stick that on. But we'll have to consider all that in time. But first of all, let's get it in, get some other bits done. Yeah, and let's go from there. So, the hard part now is going to be getting this cable through the doors. So maybe, because I'm only here for a short, as I said, I've been a bit busy today, so I'm not here long today, maybe back tomorrow. So I might actually, I'm either going to have a look at that, or we'll continue to try and get that piece of wood. I haven't quite decided yet, but so I'm going to go away and think about that, which will probably take me, who knows how long, 5-10 minutes, but you'll see me in, ooh, wrong fingers. Anyway, so I've decided to have a quick look over here, and can't remember if I checked that before, but it looks like that could do with yeah, I think there's definitely a little bit of rust in behind there. We'll have to, I thought I'd checked all that, but obviously not. There's a little bit up there as well. Anyway, never mind. We can come back and sort that out. I think what I must have done is I must have put this back at some point for some reason, whatever it was, and then forgot to pull it back off again and have a look. There's definitely rust sort of starting to grow under there, so we'll come back and have a look at that, because we don't want it to get out of control. It's just a little bit of surface rust at the moment, and it's surface rust arguably, but it's underneath the paint, so that'll just keep going. Excuse me. Right, I don't quite know where I was at then, but phone call. So anyway, I started pulling off this. Interesting, as per normally, good clips, then you see a clip there that's been bent and was never in properly in the first place. Always good. I'm not going to take it right off completely, because at the moment, I'd have to take the seatbelt off. I'm considering taking the seat out, to be honest. Might have been easier, but I don't know. I've just got to lay a cable down here anyway. I think the biggest problem is going to be, obviously this got to come through here down, and then that goes through here somewhere. So I'm going to take the glove box out and see what we can see in there. Hopefully that'll resolve the issue. Anyway, let's pop that off. Okay, I don't know how much you will have seen of that at the moment until I look through the footage, but that was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Certainly. So I've managed to get the door harness disconnected, and obviously it's quite tight. Ooh, hang on, let's poke that in. Right, so I hope you saw all that. I managed to get this disconnected. It's a fun cable. This piece here, just pull towards you and it'll pull back, but there's not a lot of space in there. Obviously they probably do this up when the door's off. Someone, so there's probably a machine holding the door in place. Hang on, there we go. Let me move my head out the way of the light. So there's probably a machine holding the door in place. Someone clips this in, and then they move the door in place and do it all up after that. But so the challenge of getting new wires in here, you can see there's possibly, I don't know, who knows, maybe some sockets in there that aren't being used, which could be useful. Because oops, so I can grease on everything. You can see there's lots of nice grease around here, keep those from corroding. So we can definitely get wires up through to here, but where to from there? And if I have a look at this one here, there's quite a few wires coming in and out of there, so it doesn't look like there's too many things that are spare. There's a bit of space here, as you can see there's a hole here that goes right the way through, which I'm picking is there. So I'm assuming what would normally happen is there's possibly another clip, another connection that would go in here. See how you've got that kind of blue connection slid in there? I imagine there's another one that slides in from this point here. Hopefully you can see that. you know, plug that slips in there, and then it will just plug into that. Don't really want to go damaging that. But what we'll have to do is we'll have to take this rubber boot off, pull it back a little bit. Hang on, let me just move you over there so I can use my hands here. I've got to work out how. Oh, all right, there we go. Yeah, so as you can see, so the more wires in there, I don't really want to get rid of those. Interesting challenge. Interesting challenge. How to get some cables up through here. Good speaker cable up through here. That nice thick cable would be nice, but I'm sure that's probably it's probably driving the windscreen. Sorry, the windscreen. Listen to me. Can't think. It's the window motor is probably what that's for. Or possibly the actuator, but the door lock actuator. But no, I'm thinking it's probably that. So what I think now, some of those. There'll be, I think it's one of these pairs of yellow wires, I think is the speaker. But again, too small. Do I want to sort of terminate it here, go through there and come out the other side? No, I don't. That just makes it look even harder to be. I was thinking I could run them up the side here, but then that's quite hard rubber that's up there. I've got to work out how that. All right. Cool. So the only thing I'm thinking is down the side here, but problem is you come up there, you're in the way of the locking mechanism, which might be all right. Might be. Got to be a little bit careful. Interesting challenge. Very interesting challenge. Again, I'm going to have to go away and have a little bit of a think about this one. I was hoping to have a little bit more, a little bit of space there, but there really isn't any space at all. I don't know if there's any other way in. There's something in there, but I don't know if that's a rubber grommet, and it's right behind the scuttle plate. Oh, that's rubber. Actually, that's rubber. Problem is that means then having another. I don't want to sort of go into this and then out another one. That also could be a problem. Fun. Right. I'm going to go and have a think again. Okay. That took a while. So I've taken the cover off the connectors, and this really just is I guess a locking mechanism. Now in these extra wires, there's 4 extra wires in a connector here, and I'm assuming that they actually come to here. Yes, they do. So there's obviously an optional extra that could have been purchased for the vehicle. Don't know what it is, to be fair. I'll have to look it up at some point. And obviously it's already in the door because it's not. That would have been quite difficult to put in aftermarket. But aftermarket, you could easily have probably put in a socket from this side, maybe. Well, actually, not even that. Actually, there's nothing there. There's nothing in there. So I'm assuming somehow someone would have got a connector in there. But the good thing is, there's a pathway. So through that connector, through there and down and in. The big question is, though, of course, is how do I do that easily? So I think it's not too bad. we're just anyway, I'm not going to explain it at the moment, but I think the key thing still at the moment, the big thing, is getting the cable from down through this tube here. I did start trying to push something through to get as a user something to pull through. Got sort of a lot of the way there, but not quite. I think it's just a bit too soft on the end, because you know, trying to get this straight is a bit difficult in there, so that things don't catch on all these edges. So I might have to use something else. We'll try something else now. So it's yeah, I'm sort of happier that we'll be able to do something, but this is quite a bit of work. And I think, you know, when people think about car stereos, you know, oh, it's, you know, fairly simple, I just do this and do that, but this sort of stuff's not easy, unless of course you plan on just using the cable that's in the car, which you could do. You know, you could do worse, I guess, in some respects, but you know, you could do that. But the nice thing is well, the nice thing is, let me say this, the thing is about this, there's a yellow cable, one brown, one red, same up there, and two of them come up and then they disappear. See, right there, yellow, brown, yellow, red, yellow, brown, yellow, red. So you got your tweeter and your mains in there. Now, arguably, do I tap into that? But the idea of, you know, cutting all that up and trying to work in that small space just doesn't seem worth it. Arguably, do I cut them and pull them through to use that to pull the other cable through? Maybe. But you know, what happens if this does get put back to the way it was? I don't know. You know, have to think about all these things, to be honest. Have to think about what will happen to the car. You know, would it just go and I just go, you know, guess what, stereo goes with it? That would probably be a nice easy way of doing it. Or do you start taking it apart? Do you want to put it back together in a slightly different way? Do you sell the stereo as a separate component? Lots of questions, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to get this done. I don't want to, as I said, if I can find a way, I will, and I think I will be able to find a way through there. It's just a matter of now getting this extra cable. Where are we? It's nice and chunky too, which is always good. Be good if I could find the end of it. There's an end of it. So we've got to get that down through there. Not far, just to there. But that's got to somehow get through there. Anyway, I'm sure we'll work it out. But what else do I need to do? Yeah, we're just going to keep working on this one today. We might have chance, if we can get anything done today, well, at least we'll know, once we've done this one, we'll know what it's going to be like to tackle that one over there. One thing I do need to do is get the profile of this again. Actually, get a good profile of that. Can I see it? Because it's an interesting one, because it kind of comes off the edge and rolls over, whereas most of the ones I've seen just drop off the top, which might be okay. Might be okay, because it's kind of, but it kind of pushes up against like that. If it was up on the top there. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Right. Back to my thinking. Okay guys, we're back on the putting this through. Now the question is, do I edit out my mistake or do I just talk about it? Let's talk about it. So we've got the cable through, which is good. We put the cable through here, we're about to put it through here. And as you'll notice, the bit that I didn't edit out, I nearly got it through, but it's lucky I didn't, because that would have been annoying because I've missed something. I need it to go through this plug, the bit that's not being used. So if we come in close, there's these two pins, let's hold it nicely, there's these two pinholes here, they're not being used. So there's these 4 pins on the bottom are being used by, they go to this connector here, whatever that's for, someone will tell me. But those other 2 have nothing in them. So we're going to open those up and get this cable through there. So we'll go on and get that done, then we'll run it back through and try and get it up through. Okay, so we're good at making mistakes. Anyway, another one. Who's noticed it already? So good news is we've got the cable through. Here we go. So good news is we've got the cable through. I had to use I was trying this thin wire, but when it pulled through it just wouldn't work. Use this thicker wire, it's much easier to get through. As you can see, I've put the cable outside here. Luckily it's here and not a hinge. But that should be easy. We'll just get a e-Torx onto that thing, undo that, wrap it round, and then pop everything back. So that was quite lucky, I think. So we'll pop this back in. I might get a bit of grease and chuck it over here as well. There was plenty of grease in here before, but that's come through quite nicely. Let me get in the light. So that's come through quite nicely. It hasn't damaged any of the plug that you would use if you had these other accessories. That's all still looking good. So we'll undo this, we'll feed that, clip that back in, push that back in, do out the bolt, then we've got the cable in, then we're pretty much, we can then wire up the speaker, put it back in, and we're good on this side. I'm still a little bit concerned about what protects the speaker from here. You know, I'm sure there's water that will splash around on the inside of this. Hopefully not too much. You know, back many years ago when I was young, when I used to do my own car stereos, usually these speakers would come with like a plastic cover, like a half cover. So I'm kind of almost wondering whether I try and make something myself. The speaker does have, here we go, let's have a look. It does have a level of protection, but there is that hole there, so I don't know. We'll have a look, see what it looks like. We'll see what it looks like from inside, you know, because any gaps at the top here and the water's just going to splash over there over time. But then again, with the way it is at the moment, it's not really being used in winter. So right, let's get on with fixing that problem. Okay, some fun challenges. I did skip a little bit. After putting all that in, I had left something else off again. So wow, what a fun day. Haven't got anywhere near as much done as expected, but we have achieved a few things, which is good. So when we come to that side, I think that's going to be pretty easy, right? Anyway, speakers in, everything's wired up. This cable is all connected. Tweet is connected, and cabling is all back in place, which is really good. We're not going to put the door card back on yet. We could arguably, but I want to go through some tests before we do it, because we may want to make some adjustments in the crossover or the high pass filter. Okay, yeah, fun day, interesting, lots of fun challenges, but cable's through, it's in. We've got to run it back, but for the moment the good news is we can close the door. Sorry, dirty car. We can close everything's good for that, which is great. We'll tackle, unfortunately it's now the end of Sunday. If you're wondering at what point we're in, I won't tell you which day Sunday, because that way I can trick you, but so we'll do the next speaker over the other side. At some point, because I've started taking this apart, I want to actually again check that head unit and see what it's got in the way of outputs, because I'm not sure if it's got enough RCAs to go out. I don't know. It did have the sub RCAs, but I'm not sure if it has the RCAs for front and rear. I think that may just go direct line in, line out, but we'll have a look, see what it's got. Worst case, we might have to get a new headset. But fortunately we didn't get anything more done in the back. I was hoping to get some more done in there, but just run out of time. A few other things that had to be done. So thanks very much for watching. That's been a bit of a long slog. I'll probably speed a lot of that up. You don't really want to see me fiddling in and out of getting that cable in, but just have you know that took a while. So that's the end of it. Thank you very much for watching again. Take care. Have a great week. I know we're back in lockdown here in the UK, and for anyone else in the world who's in lockdown, I know there's a few countries around that are. Yeah, keep smiling, and at some point we'll get out of this and we'll be able to enjoy life outside, I guess, again, or shall I say around other people, which is kind of nice when you can do that. Take care. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.